This video is being sponsored by Educative.io, which has a collection of well crafted written courses for software developers. Make sure to enjoy a special discount on their website by link in the description below. So hey everyone, this is me, Rachit Jana, and welcome to yet another video. Today I have with me a really special guest. He has recently quit Microsoft to join Amazon as a software developer, and not just SD1 but SD2. And he has been around, like, I think he is junior to me 1 year. So it's a phenomenal achievement that he has. Within 2 years, he was promoted to SD2 in Microsoft. Again, a big deal. Congrats for that. And now he is an
Thanks.
SD2 at Amazon. In this particular video, we will be deeping dive with how his overall interview process was like. And I feel a lot of students, and when it's Amazon, they are really aggressively hiring a lot. So this video would be really helpful to all of you who are, dreaming of applying to companies like Amazon. So with that, could you please introduce yourself to my audience, please?
Sure. So yeah, thanks Richard for the introduction. Interviewing with Amazon was different, and as you said, they are like really aggressively hiring. And I was also reached out by a couple of recruiters, and my friend also provided me a referral, and that's how the process went. I'm really glad. First of all, I want to thank you because this channel that you're maintaining, you being active on LinkedIn, it's a great medium to reach to the students and providing them the necessary things, because I feel like the process itself, as a developer, we, and while interviewing, we need to figure out this process, that how will the interview process look like, what will be asked, and it's all messed up there. We need to follow different websites, different channels, and everything. So I always felt that while preparation itself, I wanted to share my journey, so that folks can be more aware of what they need to prepare, how they need to go about things, how they need to interview, and all that. So thanks for providing me this opportunity. And yeah, I am glad to get started.
Awesome. Thanks for the attribution. And now the first question that I would like to begin with is, what was your process like? And especially, how did you find it different when it's all about COVID? I'm sure that a lot of activities were remote, or probably everything was remote.
So yeah, actually, it was pretty different than usual interviews, I would say, and it was definitely not better. It was on the other side. I mean, it was more like yeah, the recruiters were reaching. Amazon was hiring a lot, so it was like I gave out the online assessment and first of the coding rounds, and then I had to wait for a very long time, like 1 month, 1.5 months. I was not getting dates
Right.
from recruiters. I myself was busy sometimes in my own job and company, and it was very difficult to figure out. And then you need to schedule 1 day per round, and then it goes till 4 rounds. They give some feedback, and it's like a pretty lengthy process. I would say it lasted 2.5 months for me
Right.
for this one job, one interview, and I was simultaneously giving to other companies as well.
Right. Right.
So yeah, that's how it was.
Exactly. Like, I remember that with Amazon, I have talked with a couple of my friends who have been interviewing with Amazon, especially during the COVID times. Yes, they have been aggressively hiring, but they all have the same story that, yeah, it takes a lot of time. And
It's a lot of
one
time.
day
Yeah.
per round, I mean, come on. Yeah, it's really, like, I have heard similar stories. Like, it's, you want that it should proceed fast and you should know, like, whether it's going to happen or not.
Mm.
Awesome.
Yeah, but
But
yeah, but I mean, it looks more like because the interviewers may not be available as well, and
right.
there are many other challenges. I mean, you need to forward that link to design rounds.
Right, right. And we'll jump deep dive into that. Like, how are the rounds different now? Because when you are, like, physically present in the same room, you have pen and paper to explain your thoughts.
Right.
So that's exactly my next question. Like, can you give a brief summary of what were the number of rounds? And for each round, can you just summarize what was it all about?
I would say on a total there were like 5 rounds. First one was online assessment, which was pretty standard if
Right,
you go in Amazon process, and it was like easy, medium, lead code, data structure algorithm round. You give it out in a platform sort of, not in person with someone, and there are like two questions and you answer them. Once you clear that, then there are 4 rounds which are like virtual on-sites. Those rounds can differ in nature from person to person a little bit, but I would say on an average there are like two design rounds and two or three algorithmic rounds. So for me, there were four virtual on-site rounds,
right.
and they were first round was the data structure algorithmic round. It was more like a media. There were two questions in total. First one was a little bit easy. Second one was more difficult.
Okay.
I won't be sharing exact questions due to the NDA signed with Amazon, But yeah, but the data structure algorithm rounds, and then next two rounds were design rounds. The second virtual onsite, the design round, that was pretty lengthy. In fact, it lasted 2.5 hours,
Oh,
because we'll go more in that. But as soon as I started, it was more like paints, where I had to go to that mouse and draw boxes, and it took a
ah,
lot of time for me. I'm glad that the interviewer understood that part, but it lasted long. It was two and a
I
half
see.
hours. He really grilled me down on that one. He asked too many questions. Next round was with hiring manager. He again asked me a design question, one of the standard ones,
Okay.
and we had a good communication, good chat. We had many different ideas to solve the problem. Uh,
Mhm.
and the last one was again data structure algorithmic round. It was more, you can say, like a design and algorithmic round, where I was thrown a very general statement, something that happens in Amazon, and I had to ask many questions and boil it down to a
Mm.
uh, proper question, and
Mm.
then it can be solved. And it was more discussion friendly and more talkative. Yes.
I see. So this was the third round, which you're talking about?
The last round,
The last.
the bar raiser.
Okay, the bar
Yeah.
is one. So basically, it was all about testing whether you are able to clarify on requirements and formulate the
Yeah.
problem, something like that.
Yes. Yes.
All
Yeah.
right. So what were your algorithm rounds like?
So as I said, there are like two algorithmic rounds. So the first one, I would say, was more of a question. Like the first one I had seen already on different platforms, so it was easy enough for me to solve. And the next one was a little bit challenging based on graphs, where I had to think a little bit. I had to discuss with him. I had to come up with the input output structure, and then I had to code it out. It was all on Google Docs. So make sure it's better to practice on Google
Right,
Docs, not on Lead Code or some other platform where you
right,
already have all the coding structures available. It's
right.
better to Notepad or OneNote, wherever you want, but yeah, you can practice it there. So that was the first round. Then the last bar raiser round for Amazon, that was again a data structure algorithmic round. It
Mm-hmm.
was a very general statement, like 3 4 words. You just design this,
Mm-hmm.
and I was told it will be data structure algorithmic round. So I was in that thought process. I had
Okay,
to clarify requirements again and again. I had to talk to him. I had to ask him many questions. It was like till 15 minutes. I had to ask him a lot of questions,
I see.
and then it all boiled down to a standard matrix problem. Then I can visualize it correctly. Okay, there's zeros, ones, matrix, and then I can solve it further. So it was pretty interesting. I mean, the bar
Yeah,
reason round was. I think I had the most fun there.
exactly. And I think when you hear that, like you were mentally prepared that it would be about algorithms and
Ah,
data structures. But when you
yes,
hear it for the first
yes.
time, you you have a bit of nervous feeling about for the first
Ah,
5 or 10 minutes, especially like what is it like, what is it about? And then when you immediately crack it, okay, so this is where he wants to direct the question. And that point of time, you
yes.
start saying, yeah, all right, now we can proceed further.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how many of like people know Bar Raiser, but Bar Raisers are people who have done a lot of interviews in Amazon, and then they reach that press, and they kind of have a veto where they want to select you or not, something like that. Not exactly a veto, but they have a major say in that.
Exactly.
So I
So
think, hmm,
yeah, yeah, you have to do a lot of interviews. I think 500 or 1,000 or something like that. A lot of
something
interviews
like that.
when you are able to conduct bar essay interviews, and of
Yes.
course they definitely have a lot of weightage. So if you really do well,
Uh,
all the best. But
yeah.
if you really do a bad job in the bar is around, my God, all the
Yeah,
best.
there it's there you'll struggle then. Yeah.
Exactly.
So yeah, so I think the guy was pretty experienced, and that's how it went. I mean, he really drilled down into many data structural concepts. I mean, it was not like a single problem that can be solved. Yeah, like there were like queues, stacks, arrays, everything was involved, and
I
we had
see.
to throw in different ideas, and he was really into it, like how
Uh,
I think,
all
how
right.
I go about the process.
Okay,
So
so
that was
one thing
interesting.
that I learned is now Amazon is also like using Google Docs. Like I always knew that Google is notorious for that, but
Actually, I don't know if it was Google Docs. It was some other platform. I think it was tailored. It was made now for this virtual on-site
I see,
process.
I see. Probably their
But
internal
there was
system or
nothing
something like
available
that.
in there.
Oh, all right.
But it
Basically, it
was
was plain
equivalent to
notepad.
Google Docs.
Yeah, yeah, plain notepad wherein you can't do much of anything. No autocomplete, no
N-
color or something.
Nothing, nothing.
I see. Cool. So this channel has been extensively talking about algorithms, data structures, and I'm sure that my audience know a lot of how to approach them. So in this particular interview, now I want to deep dive further into the design round. Could you give us a brief
Right.
summary of what it was like? Because
Sure.
especially just a
So,
minute, like I'm really interested because without the COVID, you can have like pen paper and you can explain
mm,
things really easy. But
correct.
with
Correct.
COVID, you are doing this remotely. So I'm really interested to know how it went for you.
Right. So, I'll talk about how it went in my interviews first. So, as I said, I had two rounds. First one lasted 2.5 hours. The second one was standard 1 hour with hiring manager. He's my manager now in Amazon.
I see.
So, the first one was more like it was something that they were building in their team. They already built that project, and he handed it out to me. Okay, this is the project that we want to build, and how will you go about it. He listed down, actually wrote down all the functional requirements and non-functional requirements as well, and he wanted the high level design first, and then he wanted to go deep in all the components. So how it started was, he gave me a link where, okay, this is how we want to do. See, actually in design rounds, I don't have a lot of experience before, but on what I've heard of it, it's more like you want to express yourself in pen, paper, or whiteboard, and then you want to make there should be clarity in thoughts, in design.
Right.
But here it was pretty difficult. I mean, he was not on video as well. I had this board where I had to draw things. Luckily, I had my mouse with me. I
Okay.
can drag and drop, but it was mostly similar to paints.
Ah,
I had to draw boxes, draw arrows, and it took a lot of time for me because
exactly.
I messed up there. So he really wanted. He told me specifically that, okay, I want a high level design first. He was very clear in his thoughts what he wanted to do. He
Mm.
told me that, okay, I want the high level design now. I went ahead with that, the boxes and database application servers, uh,
Right.
the load balancers, everything. Then he had 3 to 4 different scenarios in his mind, that,
Mm.
okay, these are the customer requirements I want to cover,
Okay.
and he went ahead with that first one. And the process was simple. I mean, he wanted me to list down, actually write down there,
Okay.
the different approaches that I can think of to solve that particular problem. So and there were actually different approaches to solve, and you can actually think of, if you have prepared design well.
Yeah.
So I had to list that down, and for each of those approaches I had to think of pros and cons there.
Right.
And again, we discussed a lot, okay, this pros and cons. Then if I miss something, he told me that, okay, that's why this approach will not work. And
Okay.
then we went ahead. Then, okay, let's say this is the first scenario, we finalized, okay, we'll go ahead with that. Right
Okay.
now, next, we'll again do the same thing. 3 4 similar customer scenarios, they were all very different in nature. The
I see.
project was pretty interesting, and you will like really go in that interview. It was more like, and he was, I mean, that question was, I felt, was such that, okay, he will really know if the candidate knows this system
Ah,
design or not, because he designed it that way. It was pretty good, and you have to know the in and outs of everything.
exactly.
Went ahead later in the database design part as well, whether you will choose SQL or NoSQL. In NoSQL, again, you will, if you will choose the key value database, document
Right.
DB or graph DB or something else. He
Correct.
went till that depth. And at one place, he also told me to draw the sequence diagram, because he wanted to make sure that, okay, this was a new add-on feature for some major thing. So he
Mm.
wanted me to exactly think in a way in that sequence diagram. He wanted that the customer latency shouldn't be impacted, and our design should be such that, okay, this sequence is followed such that the customer latency is not impacted, and we can do some asynchronous things in the background.
All
So
right.
something like that. And finally, we also dive deep into the class diagrams of different components. So that's how long it was.
Mm-hmm.
And the class diagrams also were at the end pretty extensive. uh, he wanted many things, like there should be separation of concerns, and
Yeah, I
how the
understand.
inheritance worked, and many other
Correct.
things.
Basically, how I would put it as and first of all, I think when you talk about latency, it might really sound scary, but I don't think they talk about like exact numbers. Like we want this API response in probably 10 milliseconds
No,
or
no,
something
no.
like that.
No, not exact numbers, right? Not
Of course.
exact numbers.
But I do get like basically I feel what they want to test out is whether you know how like what are
Mm,
the different approaches you can have. And when you are talking about like you have different approaches, everything is having pros and cons. It can have a lot of aspects like what is your AP design
right.
like, API design like. You can have
Mm,
multiple approaches over there. You
mm,
might go for NoSQL, you might go for MySQL. You can counter that NoSQL since most of the time you will be fetching all objects. It makes sense to store a full object in the database for which you have NoSQL document, something like that, in which you can retrieve the full document and it's really easy and fast for you to develop the app as well. So you can have all sorts of
right.
discussions in that also, which database to pick. Then you can have all sorts of like why this API design is something like this. Why not also include this? Okay, if your API design is something like this, how would you like for example, if you're talking about something like Netflix system design and you haven't really put structure about when does the user pause the video and like shuts off Chrome, so when next time he comes up,
Mm,
you want to resume it from there, right? So all those things come
right.
into picture, like whatever your design is, whether you are able to meet the requirements. And I hope
Mm.
that's exactly what you wanted to communicate about, right?
Yes, yes, yeah. I mean, you need to think a lot, and there's no right or wrong, as you were trying to say. Yeah, there's just different designs, and
Right.
you need to back your design. And once you back your design, you need to clarify why you want to go with that. And if he has a better design, then he can discuss with that. And then you need to understand, okay, his one is better, and then he tries to see whether you are convinced and you agree that and you understand that why his design is better, something like that. So it was more like discussion, but no, but it was more thoughts, and you need to be good in your thoughts, you need to be good
Right.
in system design actually, so to communicate well.
Right. And also, I think this is also an opportunity for them to test whether uh, you are open to suggestions or you are fixated on
Right.
whether your design is really the best and you're
uh,
arguing that.
hey, you cannot be arrogant that okay, I want this design. No, no. I mean, yeah,
Exactly.
you need to understand if his design is better, why is that better, and you need to accept that. It
Right.
happened in a couple of cases for me.
Yeah, so I think for system design routes, especially, you have to let him steer the conversation. Of course, you can
Yeah.
add whatever your thoughts are, but let them drive the conversation if they are doing that because they
Right.
are asking the question in the first place. And
Mm.
system design really takes, like, if you talk about real practical examples, if you have to build any project, of course, it's going to take much more than even 2.5 hours that you are talking about.
Yeah. I felt he can go on for another hour, but I'm glad he stopped. But yeah, I mean there are different approaches. And sometimes it's good that you drive the conversation if he is like not talkative and he is all
Exactly.
silent. But in my case, he had a clear picture in his mind. I figured that out that he wanted specific things, and
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
he drove the entire conversation. I was just going ahead with that.
Right. Awesome. Cool. So that was about your first design round, but you also had one other one, right? So can you even talk about that one now?
Yeah. So another one was more standard in nature, where it was one of the standard questions you can find on YouTube on different websites, and there the hiring manager there it was more of a procedure
Hmm.
where I listed down the functional requirements, non-functional requirements. I thought about the scale of the system. Then
Okay.
I went ahead with high-level design, how it should actually work, I feel. And
Right.
then he was pointing me out to different areas where there can be improvements. And here I felt that I was driving the major part of the conversation,
I
and
see.
he was more in agreement with me. Actually, I had prepared for this exact question before, so it was a little bit easy for me.
I see.
But yeah, but yes, I mean the design approaches can be very different. So he had some other things in mind, and I had to adapt that. But it went good.
Mhm.
And yeah, the question was as I said, I had seen that, so it was easy for me.
I see. So I feel that like for system design, you really did a lot of preparation. So do
Yeah,
you?
I did a lot.
Yeah, and I think like, do you feel that if you hadn't spent time doing that, would you have been able to, like, be here where you are right now?
No, no, no. I mean, it's a different domain. I
Yeah.
mean, yes, you spend time in your job and you actually work day to day on different aspects of system design. But since I was in Microsoft, I spent out only one part of that entire ecosystem of system design. So what I'm
Exactly.
trying to say is there are many parts to it. There are like different things. There are load balancers, application servers, databases, and in my previous jobs I was mostly focused on the database side. So obviously I can't know all of it, but then there are resources that you can use to prepare yourself, and that's what I did. Like I can say 2-3 months of extensive system design preparation
Hmm.
where I did solve many questions, and whatever resources I found, I prepared a lot from educative.io. I followed their pattern. I mean, it's a pretty good website, I feel, to exactly follow the structure, to follow different questions. And once you solve all of them, you will get a pretty good hang of things on how system design actually works. Then I feel that I think you have to read it twice. I don't know, maybe, and then you'll have then your thought process will automatically start working. Then it doesn't really depend on what question the interviewer will throw. It
Right.
it all depends on how you can clarify your thoughts. Because he will not say something very weird
Hmm.
that you have no idea about.
Exactly.
He because he ultimately wants to hire you. They have a head count, they want to hire you. It's not like they want to reject you. So he'll more and more try to understand what I know and understand my thought process.
Right.
So yeah, the preparation really helps. You need to prepare a lot.
Exactly. Because I myself had given system design rounds with very little experience, and that's the exact bracket that I'm talking about. Developers who are in really good companies and they do not have a lot of experience and they did not do a lot of development while they were in college. If they have not designed full stack web apps,
Yeah.
I'm pretty much sure they would be having a hard time if they are not preparing for system design rounds and then just
Right.
going ahead and doing these Amazon design rounds. So you will be in
Hmm.
real big trouble because, as you have said, when you're working in big companies, you would be working on a very subset of the design components. So the knowledge that you have from your job would not be doing a really good job in helping you do a good job in the design rounds. So,
Yeah.
and again, like, first of all, educative.io, did you hear about that from my channel? Because they have been a fantastic sponsor on
Yes.
my channel.
I mean, I was following your channel. I was following different channels. I heard from many other sources as well about educative.io. And I felt that it's a pretty good course if you want to go
Exactly.
ahead with your interview process, because the structure that they follow, I think they have simplified it a lot. It's all about simplification. There are like 100 different topics, and you
Exactly.
can't jump from one topic to another. You need a format. Even if you are like a senior developer or you are like the most principal engineer, you definitely need a format where you can, okay, speak about this, then this, so that your interview looks good. Uh,
Right, right.
and
And
yeah.
and I feel the even in when you're talking about design routes, the interviewer themselves, they want to test whether you have the knowledge, or and not even the working knowledge, but do you have a knowledge in general about how to handle different situations? What would you do if
Right.
your number of reads are increasing a lot? How would you handle if you are
Hmm.
having a lot of number of writes? And I think the
Yeah.
website is having a lot of different questions, like designing Netflix, designing
Hmm.
Google Docs, and designing YouTube. They
Hmm.
have a bunch of different questions, and they're kind of, like when you do it again and again, when you go through the stuff again and again, you kind of catch on like how to solve these problems
Hmm.
generally, and then you
Hmm.
can apply them to
Right.
different kind of questions.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they have all the questions are, I think, of different kinds. Something like designing an Uber and designing a WhatsApp are two very pretty different questions. And if you solve both of them, you'll get a good knowledge on, okay, all these types of system design can be done differently, and there can be different type of questions. So essentially, like solving all those questions, you'll get knowledge of different systems as well.
Right.
Then it all boils down to not the exact question of system design, but then all boils down to discussion and clarity of thought.
Exactly.
That's what I felt.
Exactly. How well you are able to articulate and understand the requirements,
Yeah.
share your thoughts.
Yes.
Now, I do like educative.io Unlimited because it allows you to buy all courses on their website just by paying once. They already have a very generous campaign running for India, but my audience gets a discount if you use the link in the description below. Awesome.
Right.
So, and one last tip that I want to give to the audience is that if you are like not, you're not having the confidence with system design, because I know that once you build full stack apps, you would be really confident because you have done a lot of things. You have your personal stories, and you have faced those problems. You have faced those problem where
Yeah.
your application new feature is coming and you have to make a lot of changes. So you have, if you have done that journey, you would be more confident. But if you haven't done that, the best way is to actually solve different kind of problems and make notes and try to solve them on their own. Like just doing a random reading on the web or watching some videos is not going to help. You have to do it
Mhm.
yourself at least once or twice.
Right, right. Yeah, yeah, that's a good tip. And I also did one more thing. I mean, it's pretty useful if you can actually give system design interview with some one of your friends or someone who is more knowledgeable in this field,
Right.
so that you are in that interview mode. It's not a surprise for you just going in the interview and then handling out all these questions one after the another. So unfortunately, I did not have more of my friends who were like
Right.
preparing system design who were good in this field. So I followed a pramp where I gave like couple of interviews, I think 3 interviews, and I felt more ready that way.
Exactly. Like once you are, it's kind of like reciting your delivery speech, how you're going
Hmm.
to tackle
Yeah.
different. So yeah,
Yes.
that's one website that a lot of people mention. So yeah, make sure to check that out as well. So yeah, now I also want to talk about the leadership principles, and Amazon is really, well known for their 13 leadership principles. So I am
Yeah.
definitely sure that whoever ends up cracking Amazon, they definitely invest a lot of time in preparing for those design principles. And I would
Yes.
like to hear your story on the same.
Yeah, I mean, first, I think for the people who don't know about leadership principles, I like to say that there are like 14 leadership principles that Amazon has documented, and it's the core culture of Amazon. So if you want to, I mean, it's in every part of the process. If you want to interview, they'll ask you leadership principles. If you want to get promoted, you will document those leadership principles. If you have a scrum, if you have a team meeting, you need to talk about those leadership principles. So that's how integrated these leadership principles are in their culture. And it's not, they say that it's not something that's lying there in a plaque and it's written down on all the boards. It's not like that.
Okay.
People in Amazon actually talk about it. They live by it. Even if while writing code, they actually think about it. So
Mm.
these leadership principles are, I can give out a few examples. People can look up on internet on all these leadership principles.
Yeah,
But something like a customer obsession, where Amazon says that okay, you think about customers, think about their requirements, and then you work backwards on writing their code.
exactly.
Something like a bias for action, where if you have two choices, um, if you want to get in deep into the design and you move forward, but you select the option where you can act fast and you can deliver more results for the customer instead, so that the customer is benefited, and then you can go back and think about other things. So there are many different leadership principles which talk about different things, and ownership and invent and simplify and other things. So how they go in interviews is, in every round of interview, and in the last 10 minutes or 15 minutes, they actually ask about leadership principles. And especially in the hiring manager round, which is the third round, and the bar raiser, the fourth one, they like spend half an hour almost on these leadership principles. So they
Right.
are not asked directly,
Mm.
they are asked in an indirect way, where they tell that okay, tell me about a time where you had a conflict with your manager, how did
Right.
you resolve it? Tell me about a time where customer wanted a specific requirement, but you actually thought that they wanted something else.
I see.
Tell me about a time where you had two problems, you linked them to solve a particular problem or something like that.
Yeah.
So there are like, for I mean, I can say for every leadership principles, there are like 4 to 5 questions that can be asked in interviews.
Mm.
They are available on internet, but on your side,
Mm.
for this 14 of them, you need to have two stories per leadership principle that you have experience with in your past company.
Right.
By stories, I mean you need to have scenarios in mind
Right.
that you actually can't create on the spot in the interview. I mean, you need to think that through. You need to list down those scenarios, and then you need to go in the interviews all prepared.
Right.
Why I feel is because maybe in other companies there are behavioral rounds which are similar, but I feel that there's more weightage to this round, and in Amazon,
Mm.
because I would say in every round, even if you solve both the questions, you solve all the technical aspects well,
Hmm.
and you can get rejected, and you shouldn't be surprised by that, because the leadership principle is something that look forward to a lot. And
Exactly.
yeah, and all those scenarios and all, if you prepare about it before, then it's easier for you to speak it out and articulate well, so that yeah, they can know that okay, you are the
Yeah.
right candidate to fit in their culture.
Yeah, actually, this is how I would put it. Like a lot of companies do not ask or deep dive that much into it, but Amazon is really famous for that. These 13
Yeah.
or 14 design, like the leadership principles they have, they really ask you questions. And I have myself gone through that journey, and I know they ask such things. One thing that I know is that a lot of people, they feel that they have to start, like whenever they have to start giving interviews, the first thing that comes to their mind is they have to start working on their data structure and algorithm skills. That's the first thing that comes to their mind, and they start working on that. Few people are intelligent enough and they realize that okay, they are doing a good job over there, but there are other aspects like system design, and they have to try out different websites and get their hands dirty and make sure that they're doing a good job in delivering how the design rounds go by, like we discussed. The third aspect is, and this is something like you really need to invest time in coming up with professional stories that can actually back up with those all those 13 or 14 leadership principles that you're talking about. So did you spend time in like curating those stories that you had in your profession, and basically for every leadership principle, were you prepared with an answer?
Yeah, I actually did that. I mean, for every leadership principle, I found out questions. They are, I mean, it's very easy to find out. They are all over YouTube, they are all over internet. So I found out questions and I started to think about it like in real interviews. I had a question in a Word doc in front of me,
Yeah.
and I started to think of a scenario.
Yeah.
Actually, it takes time to think of that scenario. I mean,
Yes.
you cannot on the spot tell him that, okay, I had this conflict with your manager,
Right.
articulate well and tell him that okay, I handle it well as well. I mean, I don't think that's
Yeah.
that's easily possible. So you need to think, you need to come up with a few things. And I would say in all the 4 rounds, whatever questions were asked, I already had all of them prepared. I had all the scenarios in my mind, so it was easy for me. And
Awesome.
yeah, I prepared all the questions and all the scenarios because I spent time on that, because I was confident on data structure algorithms. I had to prepare a lot on system design side, but leadership principles, I thought that I don't want to waste that. I mean, I would be pretty disappointed if I'm not selected because of leadership principles. I mean, that's the last thing I want to
Right.
hear. That's why I did that. Yes.
Awesome. Makes sense. So can you just like very briefly talk about one example? Like if I have to ask, can you tell about a time where you were really pressurized and what did you do?
So yeah, so if I would put it more in terms of leadership principle. I mean, I'll follow my example. Tell me about a time where you had a conflict with your manager,
Okay.
and how did you solve it?
Yeah.
So I would say that yeah, I mean, first of all, you never say no that you did not have conflict with your manager and stop that question discussion
Right.
there. I mean, if you are a professional, all these questions will at some point in time will matter you.
Yeah.
So I would say yes. I There was a time where I had a conflict with my manager. So the situation was something like this.
Hmm.
So there's a star pattern to this,
Exactly.
that's on different websites, where you talk about the situation
Right.
and then you talk about the task and the action and what was the actual result of that.
Right.
So I
And
talk
actually,
about the
Microsoft,
situation now.
just to like, and one
Hmm.
extra addition, actually, Microsoft follows star with a double R in end. So they have situation,
Okay.
task, action, result, and then retrospect also.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
that kind of makes sense. Right. So I would say that yeah, the situation was something like this, where I was in discussion with my manager, and I thought, okay, this code design was the best way to go,
Yeah.
but my manager actually cut it out because he was in a different sense and he wanted to use a different design.
Right.
But I was very adamant on the fact that I really thought through this, and
Right.
he was adamant on that design part as well. So,
Okay.
and he did not explain the reasons on his side why he wanted to use that. He just said
Okay.
that okay, he wanted to use it. That was the situation. So then I thought about it for a while,
Mm.
And what I did is I talked to some of the senior folks. Okay, this is the design,
Right.
and how should we proceed with that? And I wanted to know the reason from his side, but because he was trying to force his design, something like that. So what I did is I sent out a few meeting invites. Okay, I want to
Right.
discuss that. I put some folks in a team in a room,
Right.
and then we all gathered together, and I put up this thought. Okay, I want to do it this way. What are your thoughts?
Right.
So essentially, the point was that instead of having a one-on-one discussion, involving few more people helps us brainstorm new ideas,
Right.
and that's how I went about it. And people were very open to it. We had a good discussion overall, and then we went ahead with a design which was more like a compromise of for both of us.
I see.
So that was the result here, and I think with this approach, the overall design was benefited because we gave more thought to it, and then we proceeded further.
Awesome.
So
Yeah,
that
like
was the
that
result.
sounds like a good story that you can
Yeah,
tell in your interviews. So yeah, good job.
yeah.
So I hope this also helps the audience to understand what these questions are all about and how you have to answer. And now we are towards the end time of this interview, and the last topic that I have for you is negotiation tips. So when you receive the
Okay.
offer, you know you're really happy. Or finally, you have made it after so many rounds of interviews scattered over different days. So what was your reaction like, and how did you negotiate?
So I am a Gujarati, so you can say that negotiation skills come in my blood. but but that was not the case. I mean, it was difficult because one thing you can say is that the recruiters are pretty skilled in this field. They know that first of all there should be a culture of negotiation. I feel which is not present in India, and it's present in US. I think I know that people in college students as well, they just accept whatever salary is given to
Exactly.
them, and they just go ahead with the process, because that's not how it actually should be. I mean,
Right.
you are given a job, you have certain expectations, you put forth your expectations, and then there should be a negotiation where you come in between, and then because it's not like the mindset should be more like, okay, I want to join that company, but the company also wants me.
Right.
So there should be an in between thing. So how I went about it is, I actually went through different websites, and I wanted to understand what an actual SD to salary structure should look like.
Right.
And I had certain expectations in my mind. And
Mm.
one thing that was beneficial for me is I also had a counter offer. I mean, I can't say a counter offer, but I was about to have a counter offer, which I spoke to my interviewer,
Okay.
the recruiter, that okay, I'm supposed to get this counter offer, and I have this expectation in my mind. The number was a little bit more than my expectation, so that we can come somewhere in between.
Okay.
And the recruiter told, okay, what's your current salary? One thing is, you just don't give away your current salary, because then
Right.
it becomes difficult for you to, but you need to, at some point you need to give away your current salary, but you try to delay it as much as possible and drive the conversation where what your expectation is like,
Right.
and then go ahead with that. Because I feel that it's 2.5 months for me, it's 2.5 months for Amazon as well, to
Right.
figure out the right candidate. So they
Exactly.
spend a lot of time, to pick this right candidate.
Mm.
And then if I have my 4 rounds, and then if they are convinced they want to select me, then they will actually take me. They won't say no because of negotiation. So you try to get as much as possible here. So then yeah, I put forth my thing, and then recruiters told, okay, I'll think about it, I'll talk to people and come back. Then she came back with a number, I thought about it, I gave, and then we came up to a in between figure.
Right.
But I felt that you can really I could have gone more hard on my negotiation. That's what I feel, because I thought they would never tell like, no, okay, we can't give you that, because I think they found the right candidate and they want to go ahead with that. That's what I felt.
All right. But did you do like I feel that you first have to do some market research, and you like whatever they're
Hmm.
offering, sometimes it might be the case that they're really happy and they are really paying you well. But I think you first need to do market research to figure out whether that offer is really good or not. And if you feel that it's a bit on the lower side and your expectations are actually, legitimate and fair, at that point of time you can definitely fight for it.
Right, right. Yeah, I mean the market research is a must. I mean, otherwise you don't really have a case. You can't just tell a number. You need to know that a figure they where they can also afford that, and you can set your expectation on that, and that's where the market research comes in. And then yes, then you can go ahead with confidence that you want. And actually, the result and the feedback of interview rounds also help. Like
Right.
if you have like three good rounds, one really bad round, they still want to take it because of head count.
Yeah,
Your negotiation may not go well. But if
exactly.
you
Like
have
it also
four
depends on
good
the
rounds, it's fine.
performance. It also depends on your
Performance.
performance. If you feel that you can go for it, you should go for it.
Yeah, yes.
All right. So, I mean, congratulations. I think you were also doing a great
Thank
job at Microsoft. I mean, getting 2 promotions in 2 years. It's, I think, the best that could happen to you. And I wish you all the best.
yeah.
Do you have any ending message that you want to leave for my audience?
Um, I don't feel you can still think of me as a college student, so I'm not that old, but yeah, I can say that, I've been to a lot of interviews before this as well. I can say that there's no end to preparation for these interviews. I mean, something like data structure, algorithm, system. You can like learn for 2 years and then give out interviews. You can learn for 6 months and give out interviews.
Hmm.
So the point should be, I think, just keep interviewing.
Hmm.
Uh, Figure out a few companies that you can go to,
Right.
keep interviewing in those companies, and try to practice it as much as possible on the real front. I mean, something like this leadership principles also, in a way tell you a lot. Like the positivity, confidence, your attitude actually matters in an interview, because ultimately you want to work with them and it's their culture.
Right.
So data structure, algorithms, system design are one way, but you can prepare that as much as you want. But if you go nervous in your interviews and you don't clarify, there's no clarity in your thoughts, it doesn't come out well. And especially in this COVID times where you are not in person, it's
Hmm.
difficult to share your body language with the people, with the person on the other side. So show your confidence, show your positivity. That will help. I mean, I know
Right.
it's straight out of a moral science textbook, but actually that helps. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, it takes a lot more than just your technology or algorithm skills or
yes.
design round skills, and you have to,
uh,
be aware of that, be cognizant about the things that really
uh,
matter, and just keep
yeah,
working and have a check yourself on where you are strong, where you are lacking, and start working on those uncomfortable areas so that overall you do a better job when you're giving interviews.
right. And you can think of it this way, like you want a job, but they also want to take you as a candidate. And that's where your confidence will come in, I feel, because it's not like you are really nervous, you want to get this
Yeah,
job. They also want you as a
yeah, I
candidate. You are
understand.
a good person. So you can go there.
Yeah, I
It works
understand.
it out. It works out. Yes.
Like you mean to say when your dreams are really a lot, like when you're dreaming a lot, like you really want it, it might happen that, and
Uh,
especially when you're not having that much of experience and you are not from like really bright colleges, you might have that sense of feeling
mm,
that even if I'm giving an interview with a huge company, like oh my god, it's a really big deal. So just
mm.
be normal when you're talking, and
Ah,
uh, be aware that they are also having a job because of which they are hiring. It's not that they are doing any something
right.
like
Yeah. Maybe don't make it a big deal
exactly.
and just go forward with it.
Awesome.
Right.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thanks for your time. I really appreciate you coming over here and sharing your story. Hopefully, this is
Yeah. My pleasure. My pleasure.
awesome, guys. Yeah, show some love and support for this video. Make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to this channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.